I felt like I was the healthiest I'd ever been when I was diagnosed with cancer. It was mind-boggling to me. It's a blow when you find out, and then, it's not a quick fix. I mean, you go through an emotional roller coaster for a while.
When a patient's diagnosed with cancer, they're faced with many, many challenges. Regardless of what it is, the Navigator program was structured to meet those needs.
I'd been sitting in a room waiting for a blood test. In walked a person who was really, really nice. So we just started conversing, and then I came to realize after one procedure and another procedure, she was always there.
I had never worked with a program like that, to have a nurse navigator in a doctor's office. And the difference it makes is amazing.
She was wonderful. She was always accessible. She was there when I had my consultations. She was there when Dr. Ash couldn't be at the consultation. She was just a constant resource and presence.
She was there to help coordinate care across all these different disciplines. And, since I've been here for 6 months going through all of it, I realized how complex it was and how fortunate I was to have a nurse navigator.
It would definitely be a lot more frightening to go through the process without having somebody there to walk beside you and guide you through this process.
And to have somebody that I could just, she would come and hold my hand. I mean, just fabulous. And it's like, you're having infusions, and it's like, sometimes it hurts, and it just, to have somebody other than a family member who, it's like you can't necessarily vent to your loved ones because you need them there, but to have somebody that, just could be there to support you unconditionally.
The goal of a Navigator program is to help a cancer patient through the very challenging experience of receiving their diagnosis, going through their workup, going through their treatment, and then ultimately surviving the disease and living a normal life.
Our navigators at St. Joseph Hospital are integral to the care of our cancer patients. Stacy, Angela, Leilani.
The nurse navigator I work very closely with is Colleen, and essentially her role in our practice as part of our team is to help really coordinate the care of our patients, surgery, chemotherapy, issues related to treatment and recovery, to help address those issues.
The focus is really on the entire well-being of the patient, both taking care of the medical aspect, the emotional aspect. It's just such a long process that they go through, and our navigators are just wonderful to support them really through some of the toughest times, and they come out at the end, and what we want for them is to do well and to be happy.
Without those nurse navigators, my job would be much more difficult, and our patients, I think, would have a much more difficult road throughout the course of their treatment.
And I think they're an absolute vital part of our program, and one of the reasons why we've been so successful.
You develop many relationships as you go through your cancer journey. None will be as personal as a relationship with your navigator.
What doesn't a nurse navigator do?
I'll help to triage patients.
I am the go-to person for nutrition.
My job is to make sure that patients have a seamless transition through their cancer journey.
Supportive counseling for patients who are going through treatment or newly diagnosed.
So I help them keep track of everything. I answer questions. I assist them in getting their medications.
I help our uninsured patients get through treatment after being diagnosed.
My role also, most importantly, is to be a voice for the patient and an advocate for them.
Help patients better understand what they're going through, make them more comfortable.
Encouragement, sort of hand-holding, walking them through the next steps.
Behind the scenes, they do so many more things.
Well, one of the last things I ever thought I would do when I went into nursing was being involved in the planning of a wedding for a patient.
The person was a 24-year-old patient that have come to our support group with her husband and her 2 little girls.
And what really attracted me to her was the 2 little girls. And I related to that because I have small children at home.
One of her wishes, last wishes, was to be married to the father of her kids.
So I grabbed a piece of paper out of my desk and I started writing down so we need a dress, we need flowers, plays.
Everything possible that you can imagine in a wedding. We were able to provide that for them. The happiness of those two kids and her husband, they were very happy that day.
The people here, it's more of a calling. They're here because they care so much. That made such a big difference to me, and I know it did to Pam. It was the compassion, and I felt that the nurse navigators were like having an extra angel in your pocket.
Absolutely.
We know what the Sisters of St. Joseph want us to do. We care for the dear neighbor, and all the way we know that we will have whatever we need to be able to provide the best care for this person.
You have patients that you become very close to, especially when they allow you into their lives.
I think that you almost have to open yourself up to a point of vulnerability in order to have that relationship.
I can't stay impersonal. I have patients that I care for all my patients, but I have some patients that for whatever reason, they creep into your heart. You can't help it. This isn't just my job, it's my passion. Being a nurse was what I was called to do.
You've heard a lot today about the importance of the navigator in cancer care. This is outside the normal care that a patient usually receives. There's no bill to an insurance company. There's no third party to go to. We really support this through the funds that are available in the hospital and through philanthropic support.
There's no way that I would have gotten through this treatment plan without Josephine.
There's a huge emotional connection for me. She certainly is professional on every level, but she does it with such compassion and such love and such commitment.
He was always there for me, great listener, and I couldn't have done it without him.
You can talk to Joy, and you can tell that she cares.
I'm so blessed to be taken to St. Joseph. I never realized there were so many caring people around. So I just wanted to thank St. Joseph and the people that work here for them being in my life and helping